Good morning to all. In previous class, we discussed about the forms of business organization and also we have completed the chapter number 2. So now I am taking up the chapter number 5, emerging modes of business. So in this session, we have to discuss about the basic introduction about the emerging modes of business and meaning of a business, electronic business, and scope of electronic business. Before going to discuss the meaning of electronic business and electronic commerce, we have to discuss some basic introduction about the emerging modes of business. In the present situation, there are so many modes of business are emerging. In this chapter, the emerging modes of business, we have to categorize or divide two parts of this name. One it is emerging and modes of business is another one. ಎಮರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಉದ್ಭವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಪದ್ಧತಿಗಳು, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪದ್ಧತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉದ್ಭವ ಆಗಿವೆ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದ ಎಮರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ exists, ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ. ಈಗ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಎಮರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಮೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್, ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ವೇ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್, ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ in the thing of to develop their business activities and strengthen their basic activities like contact the customers, delivering the goods with very fastly, speedy delivery of goods and productions, sales, etc. These all things are strengthen their basic services of business. They have to conduct some ways or to find some ways for doing business activities. So in this way, the introduction in the emerging modes of business, we have to discuss 3 points. One it is digitalization of business. In this chapter, we have to discuss the point number 1, it is digitalization of business. Point number 2, it is outsourcing. So point number 3 is internationalization or globalization, or nothing but as globalization. In these 3 things we have discussed in the chapter, but the third point, internationalization, we have to discuss in chapter number 11, like international business. So in this chapter we have to discuss only the 2 points, digitalization of business and outsourcing. Firstly, digitalization of business is nothing but as electronic business. Is electronic business. Because digitalization is nothing but as transfer of physical form to electronic form. That is called as digitalization. So we have to conduct the business activities with the computer networks. That is called as digitalization or electronic business. And next we'll discuss on outsourcing later. First we'll discuss on digitalization of business. So I already told that for so many business activities strengthen their activities through the internet or computer networks. That is called as digitalization of business. So this is the basic introduction of emerging modes of business. So next we are going to mean. In this chapter we have to learn about point number 1, e-business. E is nothing but as electronic business. E is nothing but as electronic business. What is it mean, sir? What is electronic business? It refers to conducting the industry, trade and commerce activities through the computer networks or online or internet. See, conducting the business activities like trade, industry and commerce through internet, or computer networks. Computer networks. It is nothing but as e-business. So e-business ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್, ವಿದ್ಯುನ್ಮಾನ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೀವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿಸ್. Before some years, we have to, so we would like to purchase any one product. We must go to the stores or organizations and purchase the product. But nowadays, it's very easy because sitting in your home and order in the mobiles or computers or using laptops with the online business after registration of online vendors. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅಂಗಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತೊಗೊಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಮನೇಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ನ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದನ್ನೇ ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರನೇ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್, what are so many activities are done in the organization. The activities are conducting through internet and using computers. So ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದ ವೆರಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾಸ್ಟಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫುಡ್. ಈಗ ಫುಡ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂಗಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ರಿಸ್ಕ್. ದ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಫುಡ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಹೋಮ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ವೇ. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಎಮರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸ ಹೊಸ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗಳು ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಏನದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿ e-business, it means, in simply, it means to conducting the business activities like trade, industry and commerce through internet or computer networks is nothing but as called as e-business, right? So next, going to the next point, e-commerce. E-commerce, electronic commerce, ವಿದ್ಯುನ್ಮಾನ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಸೇವೆಗಳು. So in simply, e-commerce is a part of e-business because e-business is the broader term. There are so many activities are involved in this business. So commerce, it is a part of business. So you already know that in the first chapter, the classification of business, right? Industry and commerce. So that reason, commerce is a part of business. So in this sense, what is e-commerce? E-commerce is nothing but as the business can conversation or communicate with the suppliers and customers through the internet. Simply, the business can interact with the customers, with their customers and suppliers through the internet. That is called as e-commerce. Right? ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಸಪ್ಲೈಯರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರಕುಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಗ್ರಾಹಕರಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರನ್ನ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದನ್ನು ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇ-ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇ-ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇ-ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಆಸ್ interact with customers and suppliers through the internet. Through the internet. See, ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಸಪ್ಲೈಯರ್ಗಳ ಹತ್ರ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ, ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ e-business and also e-commerce. And also e-business can cover those aspects: production, human resource management, sales, purchase, so taking orders, delivering the goods, all other things are, all other activities are conducted in the electronic way. That is called as e-business. E-business will cover this. So this is the meaning of e-business and e-commerce. So in the examination, they will ask the question, what is e-business for 2 marks or e-commerce for 2 marks. Next we will discuss on the scope of e-business. What is scope, sir? That is expansion. How it is can be expanded. ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್, ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸು ಯಾವ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಇ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. Scope of e-business is nothing but as the e-business or in the electronic business, the business can conduct their activities with finance activities, production activities, sale activities, and human resource management, and marketing activities, personal administration, and those, and also planning, organizing, controlling. All the activities can be done or run through the internet. And also, in the other hand, the e-business can visualize their parties and customers with the 4 ways. The business can interact with the customers. How to the e-business can be run? The scope of e-business is nothing but as, it is also called as types of e-business. ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ಗಳು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರೀಬೋದು, ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರೀಬೋದು. ದ ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಇಂಟು 4 types. One is B2B business. It's nothing but as business to business. So in same sense, point number 2, B2C, it is also called as business to customers. So in third point, it is Intra, which is within the business. The fourth last point is C to C. It is also called as customer to customer. So these are the four ways of we can learn the scope of e-business, and also it is called also as types of e-business. It is B2B, business to business, B2C, business to customers, intra-B is intra within the business organization. They have also made a online transactions. So and the C2C, customer to customers. This is the four ways. So deeply, the point number one, it is business to business. See, this is the point number one, business to business. In this scope or type of e-business, they are involved two parties. Both parties are business organizations. Both parties are business organizations. It means the business interact with the other business. So interact with the using computer networks with the other business organization, because they have required inputs for getting required inputs for the other business. Examples: automobile industries are contact with the other business for to supplying the raw materials, because the products which are raw materials for me or our company, it is finished goods for another company. So that reason we have to contact with the other business and supply the raw materials for us. So that is the interact with the other business. This is called as business to business organization or e-business, business to business way. In the same sense, so point number two is business to commerce. Sorry, business to customers. It includes both parties. One it is business, another end it is customer. One start from business and another end with the customers. How it is possible, sir? See, the business can interact with the customers because the customers are the final customers. When the business produces any product that will selling to the customers at the end, another end. So this is the communication between the business to consumers, because so they have to produce the product. It can be successfully delivered to the customers with the interaction of business and customer. This is called as business to customers way. Third point, it is intra-B. Intra-B is nothing but as within the business organization, the parties can involve in the transactions. ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸ್ಗಳ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾ ಬಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಟು customers. Customers to customers is nothing but as consumer to consumer business. In this consumer to consumer commerce or business, there are two parties are available. One customer, another also customer. The both customers or consumers can interact with each other and involve in the business or transactions through selling their goods to another consumers. Example, sold of used books or used products to another customer. ಈಗ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಸ್ಟಮರೇ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗಳು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಟು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ OLX ಇಂದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಸ್ಟಮರೇ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗೆ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ವಿತ್ ದ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಆರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್. So this is the four types are considered as scope of e-business, is also as types of e-business. So and also, so expand form of these three, 1, 2, 3. expand form of these three will be asking for 1 marks. Expand B2B are nothing but are called as business to business. So otherwise they ask 2 marks question. What is B2B business transactions? Right? So expand form garu keltare illa what is meaning kuda keltare give in the notes. So next going to explain the major difference between electronic business and traditional business. So next we are going to difference between or discuss difference between electronic business and traditional business. So, see, we already discussed in the e-business, electronic business. We already know about the traditional business. What is the previous method we are already using? Going to product store and purchase the product, and company for purchasing product. With the physical presence of the persons, without any using networks. Computer networks or internet, that is called as nothing but as traditional business. So in this now we will discuss what is the major difference between e-business and traditional business. Eradu difference ಏನಿದೆ? Traditional business ಈಗ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ business ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ traditional business. Online business computer ಗಳು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಇವೆರಡಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? This difference question will be asked in the examination for 8 marks, right? So see, these are all the difference between e-business and traditional business. Yeah, see, this is the major differences between the e-business and traditional business. See, this is the basis. What are the base for difference? And this is traditional business and this is electronic business. So point number 1 is formation. So in the formation, the traditional business formation is very difficult because the traditional business formation is very difficult because it requires buildings and physical requirements, physical resources and human resources. All the things are required. So it is set up or formation is very difficult, but it's compared to the e-business or traditional business. E-business setup is very easy because only one computer network or computer system or laptop or any other electronic device is required. It's easily it can be set up. Next point it is physical presence of person. Physical presence is required because in traditional business ಸಾಂಪ್ರದಾಯಿಕ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ನಾವು ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಮೆಷಿನರೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಇರಲೇಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕಲಿ, ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎನಿವೇರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಟು ದ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಒನ್ ಹೂ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ required for physical presence of persons. So that is the point number 2. Third point, cost of setup. Cost of setting up of traditional business, it is very high because all the physical resources can be purchased. So it can require money or investment. It's very high. But in the free business, we can require only one electronic device. It is very low. So this is the third point. Fourth point, operational cost. Operational cost is nothing but as daily expenses. So it is very high because in the physical presence of all the persons and also maintenance cost or operating cost of business. So it includes the operational cost. So it is in the traditional business we have required so many money or so much of money for maintenance. So that is in the traditional business operation cost is high, but it is low. Only one electronic device can maintain it. So it is easily very low of operating cost. Next point, nature of contact with the customers or suppliers. Suppliers with the customer ಯಾವ ತರ ನೇಚರ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯರೀಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸಪ್ಲೈಯರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರೋ ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈಯರ್ಸ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ವೆಂಡರ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಈಸಿಲಿ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಕಂಪನಿ ಕೂಡ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್. ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ hierarchical from top level to low level. Hierarchy means hierarchical ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is called ಶ್ರೇಣೀಕೃತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ಡರ್ ವೈಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎನಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಮೂವ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಟಾಪ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಟು low levels with order wise. That is called internal communication in the traditional business. But non-hierarchical means ಶ್ರೇಣೀಕೃತವಲ್ಲ, means non-order. It can directly communicate with the direct customers or suppliers or any other person. So there is no way. It is indirect way or so direct way. It is indirect way to communicate the information. Next one, it is response time. In the traditional business, that we can earn our response with the customers through later, because the customer can purchase the product or any other things and go and use after they can use. So in this response time, e-business it has less time because the services are provided by the company very quickly. So it is easily getting the response from the customers. So it is less time. So perspective to the customers, it is in the traditional business we have a direct and much more personal contact with the consumers and customers, but it has less in the e-business because there is no contact, personal contact or direct contact with the customers and consumers. So it has a less personal touch with the customers and consumers. Next point, easy going on global. So in the internationalization or globalization, opportunities are less in the traditional business. Traditional business ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗಳಾದ್ರೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ನೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆರ್ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? So skilled, many semi-skilled and unskilled human resource required. So in traditional business we have required skilled, unskilled and semi-skilled laborers are required. ಈ business ನ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ತರ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೆಮಿ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಅರ್ಧ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಅನ್ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೇಬರರ್ಸ್, ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ದೇ ಇದ್ರು, ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್. ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. This question will be asked for 8 marks in the examination. So students must learn these things. So in this session I hope that you have to learn what is the introduction, basic introduction, meaning of e-business and e-commerce, and scope of e-business, and difference between traditional business and e-business. Next class I am going to explain, I am going to teach you about benefits of e-commerce. Okay, right? Thank you.